Good day. Today we are going to draw activity G, which is a roller point camshaft, roller-ended camshaft. I'm quickly going to put up the question so that you can follow me and come back to it as you feel needed. Alright, if we look at the specification, the follower reciprocates along the vertical center line of the shaft and the rotation is anti-clockwise. One of the instructions is we have to draw a displacement graph and also a scale 1:1 cam follower and the shaft. I'm going to start by drawing our displacement graph. I will explain later on why I chose to do it this way, and hopefully that will make sense. So first we have to find the position of our displacement graph. I'm going to draw it in my top left corner, about 70 plus or minus 70 millimeters from the top and more than 30 millimeters from the side. I will also explain later on why I chose the specific position. For now I'm just going to start by drawing a point to start with, so more than 70 degrees, millimeters, I'm going to make a point here. And that is going to be my starting point for my graph. So firstly, we know that the displacement graph has a horizontal scale of 72 millimeters that equals to our total 360 degrees. So that would mean our entire line would be a total of 72 millimeters. I'm going to start by drawing it. That is our total 72. I'm just going to double check with another ruler. It's always a good idea to double check all measurements. 72, we have it. So now we have to divide this displacement graph into 12 equal parts, which will be our divisions for our degrees. Before I go the long way around, I'm just going to try with my calculator and take 72 divided by 12, and that equals a nice around 6 millimeters. Now I'm going to take a ruler. I'm going to make equal divisions of 6 millimeters. I'm going to block the camera for a minute to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 at the end. Now we have our equal divisions. Next we are going to have to draw our vertical lines to finish our graph. So to find the total height of our vertical line, we're going to look at the motion section. I'm not going to read everything, but feel free to go back to the question. So we know, firstly, the motion rises, the follower rises, then falls, then rests, and returns to the original position. So our first height rise will also be our only height rise. So that total height is what we're going to be looking at. So that would be 58 millimeters. So that's going to be our total height. So I'm going to draw height of 58 millimeters. I'm going to draw it with a solid line because I'm not going to have to do anything else. Now that I have that, I can I can complete my graph by drawing a neat rectangle and projecting each division upwards vertically. Now we have our 12 equal divisions, which will be our divisions of our degrees. Alright, next we're going to have to label our divisions. One very important part of drawing a camshaft is always to label everything, otherwise you might get confused. So we're going to divide in our 12 degrees, so 0 degrees, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, 330, and 360. Now we have our equal divisions. Now that we have that, we can start by drawing our graphs. So the first part would be a simple harmonic motion, which is a semicircle. Now the reason I left this space open is because I've already read through the question and I know that it's going to have to be a radius of 29 millimeters. Why 29 millimeters? Because it's half of our total height. So I'm going to take my compass and open it to 29 millimeters. Put it on the point for 0 degrees and make a mark. Just going to double check if my height's even. It is. So now with my compass, putting it on the marked point I have, I'm going to draw a semicircle. Now I'm going to divide my circle into 60 and 30 degrees. So I'm going to take my 60-30 degree triangle and going to make my divisions. I'm not drawing these lines extremely dark because this is just part of my construction. There we have our divisions. Okay, now that we have divided our semicircle into equal 30 degrees, I'm just quickly going to number my divisions, just to make things easier. So that'll be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 6 equal parts. That means we're going to have 6 points or lines. So the distance we are looking at is 180 degrees, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. So we already have our 6 equal divisions, so we don't have to worry about anything else. So now I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to draw horizontal lines corresponding with my 6 points. So 1 would be the lowest, which is also 30 degrees, and so on. I'm quickly going to draw in those divisions. And there we have our first 6 marks for our graph. So for the next part, I am going to use a flexi curve. You can also use a French flexi ruler. And I am going to connect all of these dots. Always remember to take your time when it comes to a flexi curve. Almost there, and then something moves every single time. I have about the right place now. Aha! And that is a near perfect connection. Very proud of myself over there.